What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony 2times, and we back with another video, man. And it's the last episode, man. It's episode 5, How I Survived Prison in Baltimore, Maryland at age 17. I'm going to give y'all a recap, then I'm going to go into my life now. I'm going to go into my transition once I left prison and what I did to stay free, stay out here in these streets, man, and start a family, a business, and stuff like that. So as I stated, I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. I was born in Lafayette Projects in East Baltimore. When I was born, my mom was 14, my pops was 15. My pops was hustling. He was in the streets doing his thing. Unfortunately, my mom got caught up, getting high, messing around, stuff like that. Not to fault her. It was everywhere at that time. I was born in 87, so we talking about the 80s, the crack era, all that. Now, coming up in that environment and being young and saying a lot and people stashing stuff in my pant and all kind of stuff going on, you learn a lot kind of young, but you also learn how to survive. So it's kind of like a blessing in disguise because you learn how to do certain things and make money certain kind of ways, but you never learn the positivity. So coming up, it was kind of different for me. I was kind of introvert. I held things in. I ain't talk a lot. I kind of stayed to myself. I wasn't really friendly. Even at a young age, I always been wary of people. Like, I always watched my surroundings and watched everybody around me. I had real bad trust issues because getting let down so much and things like that. As I got older, my mom, she tried multiple times to get herself together, but she just never could. And then my dad, he went to Birmingham after he came from prison. He got on his feet, and then he sent for me to come down there for a better life. Y'all heard that story. If y'all didn't, go check out my Birmingham story. It's on the playlist. So when I went down there, I did see a better life, and it actually changed my life because I realized it's better out here than the corner, than hustling and things like that. But after I got in trouble and went back home, now about this time, I'm 14, 15. I went back home. My great grandmother was getting SSI. My mom was getting SSI. They was getting $500 a piece. That's $1,000 a month. Rent was $700. So y'all can do the math, how hard it was. It was times when we ain't have nothing to eat. I couldn't wash my clothes for school. We ain't have no washer and dryer. I was just trying to survive, trying to find a way. So I jumped off the porch. I started doing what I was doing to try to make money to help my family out. I met my baby mother around about this same time. We was kicking it. I was hustling down the street from her house. She ended up, getting pregnant with my daughter. My daughter was born when I was 17. Through all this, I'm hustling. I'm trying to make a way. We got our little rap group. We out here, me and my man Ice, me and my man Wayne, Josh, Trevor, Trey. It was a bunch of us. We called ourselves Gorilla Mob. We trying to do right, we trying to lead each other in the right direction, but it's the blind leading the blind. Some of them came from good families, but they ain't had their dad around, their mom did it all, so they was still outside trying to figure out a way. So, when I was hustling, I ain't gonna sit here and tell y'all like I got rich. I made enough to help out, to help with bills, to buy groceries, to buy tennis shoes, to wash my clothes, buy certain things before my daughter was born. I even tried to go get a job at Wendy's, tried to get a job. That ain't really work out. I was kind of still on that street mentality, and I felt kind of weak working for somebody. I always had like a little complex about that back in the day. I felt like I was a boss at a young age. So I ended up, like I said, started doing licks, because I wanted quick money. The hustling was cool, but I felt like the money wasn't coming fast enough. People was playing, the connects was acting crazy, prices was going up and down. So I'm like, I'm about to just take it. I ain't saying it was right. I ain't glorifying it. It was definitely wrong, and I'd never do that again in my life. But you got to live and learn. So as I'm doing this, the police on us. They watching us. They like to fill my homeboys up for the same thing, but they ain't really get caught with no burners. They just caught them like after the fact. They went to juvenile. They went to Hickey School, Boys Village, stuff like that. Now, when I got into it, I was doing it trying not to really mess with no civilians, no women, no, you know what I mean? Just trying to do it to people that was in the streets. I thought that would be better. Now I was making money at this point because I could stand on the block all day and be lucky if I make $300. But when I was hitting licks, if you hit the right people, you can make $1,000, $1,500. That helped a lot. My grandmother used to always try to tell me like, you need to do something, because at this time I dropped out of school. I felt like school was a waste of time. I was stupid when I look back at it, but I felt like they weren't teaching me nothing. I couldn't make no money in school. Like, we about to get put out. I got real bills, like the lights out, clothes dirty. I ain't got nothing to eat tonight, so I need to make some money. Now, before you judge people, you gotta put yourself in their shoes. You 16 years old. You can't really get a good job at no warehouse or nothing like that. So you gotta work at McDonald's and stuff. And a lot of times, that's still wasn't enough to cover the bills. So what would you do in that person's situation? It's easy to say what you won't do until you feel your stomach growling at night. You ain't got nothing to eat. You got a daughter on the way. You don't know how you gonna feed her. So it's like, it's a tough situation. It's a catch-22. I tried to sign up for things and go to Job Corps and stuff like that, but them kind of things used to take too long. At least I thought back then at that time. So, excuse me. As I'm sitting there trying to get things together and figure out a way out, because I always was trying to figure out a way out the streets. I wasn't one of them dudes that did it because I wanted to. I felt like I was doing it because I had to. I ain't want to be in the streets. I always wanted a better life. I used to go to sleep and dream about having a family, watch stuff like The Fresh Prince and Family Matters, and wish my life was like that. My mom did the best she could with what she had, her and my great-grandmother, but it just wasn't enough. So as I'm going out here hitting these licks, my little cousin was living with us, his mom, his dad. It was like 4 of them, so it was like 7 of us in the house, And I feel bad because he kind of followed in my footsteps as he got older. But when I finally got caught, the police been watching us. They was sitting outside the house, They watched us. They seen what I was doing. I was smoking at the time, but I knew that was them because I had dipped. I left because my grandmother told me they was coming to the house, kicking the door in, like every other day. They found some burners. One of the burners had blood on it. So instead of me taking my grandmother through that stress, when I seen them pull up, when I was in front of the house seeing my grandmother, I simply walked up the street. My homeboy was like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "I can't keep letting them kick my grandmother door in." So I turned myself in. When I turned myself in, I didn't think I was going to prison. I thought, just like my homeboys, I was going to go to Hickey School or Boys Village. But I had been doing it so long, and my crime was so violent, and how many I did, they wanted me. They felt like I was like the ringleader. So, like I said, when I got jammed up, I was on the county line, so they sent me to Towson, you know. And when I went to county jail or whatever, it was crazy. I went to the juvenile tier at first, but I got to fight in my first night, and they sent me to the adults. I'm going to skim through this a little bit. Then from there, I had a paid attorney. I went to court. They gave me 20 years, all suspendable 5. And when I got to 5 years, at first I thought they gave me 20 years. So when they sent me to DOC, people explained to me, all the old heads explained to me what that meant. So then I went to Hagerstown. I was wilding my first few years. I had to do what I had to do. I had to survive and stuff like that. Not saying it was right. But then I got back cool with my family. They started trying to send me money and stuff like that. So things got a little better. I was able to make moves and focus on school. Now, when I came home, I ain't had no car. I got a job on work release at a company called ChemSpec. It was a chemical company, a warehouse. I started out making $8 an hour. I actually stayed there 5 years, all the way until I left Baltimore. I came home, I was on the box. I was on home monitoring for like 6 months, but I was so happy to be home. I was ordering cheese steaks, and I was just happy, you feel me? I didn't care I had to stay in the house. I could call a girl over if I wanted to. Wasn't nobody telling me what to eat. So I came home with the right intentions. I was like, I'm going to keep this job to do what I got to do. You feel me? Me and my homeboy Monty right there, we came home at the same time. That was my road dub. He had already did a lot of time. He was in and out of prison. That's my little cousin Shalik, my little cousin Howard right there. I put a few pictures in here for y'all so y'all can see my transition, so y'all can see where I came from and where I'm going. Now, this when I first started my business, you feel me, the photography business and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I do videos and all that. But yeah, man, so when I came out here, that's my daughter, you feel me? That's when she was like 5. I wanted to do the right things for her, this before I met my wife. because she has a child too. So I got a stepdaughter that I've been taking care of since she was 2 years old. She'll be 12, and my daughter will be 16. But, man, I just been focusing in on doing the right things, man, and trying to spread the light of the situation and what we go through as young black men growing up in inner cities and stuff like that, and let people know you can really make it out, you feel me? I'm not rich. I ain't to the level I want to be yet, but I'm shooting for that. That's my daughters right now when they got a little older, you feel me? I'm shooting to be in a better position in life, man. I'm shooting to do things bigger than even YouTube, you know? I want to help people. I want to talk to people. And I need y'all support, man. I need y'all motivation sometimes because it ain't easy, you know, with a whole family and trying to do a production company and trying to do the right thing. Sometimes it get hard because them old ways still be in you and you know how to make easy money. But I've been doing so good so long that I kind of conditioned my mind to stay out here and do the right things, because even if I go make $100,000 today and we live good for 3 years, but I go to prison for 6 years, is it really worth it? That's what y'all got to understand, man. Prison ain't for nobody. You feel me? It's like for animals, you know what I mean? It bring the beast out you. It bring the worst out you. And you know, you got to come out here. I mean, I've been diagnosed with PTSD from a lot of stuff I done seen. I didn't even know what that was until I went and talked to a therapist one time, and they explained to me what it was. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That's why I don't like being in a crowded room. I don't like being around a lot of people. I don't like people walking behind me. I don't even like, you know, people looking at me too long. And I had to break those things and realize wasn't nobody out to get me, man. And, you know, prison was the best thing that happened to me, because I feel like if it wasn't for that, I would have been dead or even locked up for a very, very, very long time, because the way I was going, I ain't understand that it's real and you could definitely go away forever, you know, until I went in there with dudes my age and younger than me that had life and stuff like that. So, man, y'all stay free, y'all stay focused out here. And we live in a world, man, where everybody want to be tough, everybody want to be about that life. Being about that life gonna get you life in prison, I'm telling you, bro. Like, just chill. If somebody disrespect you and your family, you do what you gotta do. But don't be out here looking for trouble, man. You feel me? That's an old picture of me right there. But, man, I love y'all. I appreciate the support I've been getting, man, especially on these videos. I'm going to do a Q&A. I'm going to go live, do a questions and answers. Y'all can ask me anything y'all want about the time I spent. You know, I did 3.5 years, you feel me, in Hagerstown, Baltimore City, Towson. I done been all through Maryland correction. So, y'all talk to me about this, man. You feel me? Not to glorify anything y'all might want to know. Hopefully, y'all can stay away from that. You feel me? Y'all don't even got to go through that path. But, man, for all my loyal subscribers, man, I appreciate the love and support. Y'all don't know how much it means, you feel me? I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I've been wanting to push these videos, man, and talk to people and build with people. So y'all definitely stay tuned. Y'all already know what it is. We still on that race to 10K. I appreciate y'all for watching. If you want to support, you can check the links in the description. The Cash App is Tony2timesTV. Everything is appreciated for up-and-coming projects. Love, fam.